Welcome to Mr. Chalk's Revision Tips. In this video, we will look at stem cell potency, sources of stem cells, and the uses of stem cells. So, stem cells are cells that have not undergone differentiation, so they have not become a specialised cell yet. So, we're going to have a look at stem cell potency, sources of stem cells, and some of the uses of stem cells. So stem cells are cells that have not undergone differentiation. So a cell that has not undergone differentiation can become any type of cell. An embryonic or an embryo develops from a fertilized egg. So all cells in an embryo start off as identical undifferentiated cells. These cells are called embryonic stem cells and can become specialized to form different types of cells. They do this by switching genes on or off. So for example, an embryonic stem cell can become a muscle cell or a nerve cell, for instance. The embryonic stem cells receive signals from other cells that they turn the correct genes on and off. So most cells in a human embryo start off and become specialized into 8 types of cells. So this is very early on in development of the embryo. A whole new organism with skin, eyes, heart, liver and all the organs it needs will develop from the embryonic stem cells. This allows the organism to have all the tissue it needs with the correct functions to be able to survive. Adult stem cells are unspecialized but become specialized much later than embryonic stem cells. They can differentiate into related cell types only. So for instance, adult stem cells in bone marrow can become differentiated into blood cells and cells of the immune system, but not other cell types. Cell potency refers to the variety, availability of stem cells to be able to differentiate into specialized cell types. Cells with the greatest potency can generate more cell types than cells with a lower potency. So totipotent stem cells are cells that have the capacity to self-renew by dividing and developing into 3 primary germ cell layers of early embryonic development. Pluripotent stem cells are cells that have the capacity to self-renew by dividing and developing into 3 primary germ cell lines of early embryo development and therefore into all cells of the adult body, but not extra embryonic tissues such as placenta. And multipotent stem cells are cells that have the capacity to self-renew by dividing and to develop into multiple specialized cell types present in a specific tissue or organ. So most adult stem cells are multipotent. There are several types of stem cells that can be used for different purposes. So like we spoke about, we've got embryonic stem cells, we've got non-embryonic stem cells, which are adult stem cells, induced pluripotent stem cells, and cord blood stem cells from amniotic fluid and from the umbilical cord. Embryonic stem cells are stem cells that derive from undifferentiated inner mast cells of human embryos. Embryonic stem cells are pluripotent, meaning that they are able to grow into all derivatives of the 3 primary germ lines. Adult stem cells are undifferentiated cells found throughout the body and that can divide and replenish dying cells and regenerate damaged tissues. These are also known as somatic stem cells and they can be found in children as well as adults. Induced pluripotent stem cells are derived from skin or blood cells that have been reprogrammed back into embryonic-like stem cells. And human cord blood became widely used as a source of stem cells with various properties. They can be used in therapeutic stores, and most importantly, they can be stored in stem cell banks. So there are a variety of uses of stem cells. So we can use them to grow new cells in a laboratory to replace damaged tissue or organs, correct parts of organs that don't work properly, research causes of genetic defects in cells, and research how diseases occur or why certain cells develop into cancers. So researchers have used stem cells in important ways, or various important ways, in healthcare. When thinking about how they can be used to treat heart disease, we can look at how stem cells can be used to regenerate heart tissue. While stem cell therapy has not yet been able to cure type 1 diabetes, there are documented cases where patients have gone years without needing insulin injections after having stem cells injected into the pancreas, where they've regenerated into pancreatic cells that produce insulin. Scientists are using stem cells to better understand and treat Parkinson's disease. So in Parkinson's disease, cells that make a chemical messenger dopamine degrade and die. So that's happening in the brain. So if we can go and replace these cells, so they go and produce the dopamine, that will lower the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. And although research shows that neutral stem cells can form new neurons in the brain, we've not yet been able to use them to treat Alzheimer's, although it is being looked at and could in the future be developed to treat this disease. Stem cell therapy improves heart function, walking capacity and survival of mice who have been suffering from muscular dystrophy. So this could also be another possible use for stem cells in the future. But as with all of these types of research, it is still only in the developmental phase. Thanks for watching.